Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And there is some sense being shown in one particular sport, at least. After some controversy about a man partaking in female cycling, the governing body of that sport has now, let's just say, increased the difficulty in that happening. They've made it harder. They've made the entry requirements for men to race women exceedingly difficult, which is almost right, but they're getting there. Exceedingly difficult, great. It should just be impossible, but at least they're making steps in the right direction. So this all relates to Emily Bridges, that fella who likes to race ladies because he's not very good at racing other men. Well, he was initially banned. The governing body of the sport have looked into it and have made it. Well, let's have a look at the article and see what they've made it. So, straight in here, transgender cyclist Emily Bridges faces being blocked from major events for another 2 years after cycling's world governing body announced new rules over maximum testosterone levels and transition periods. The UCI previously allowed trans women to race in female events, that's men in female events, if they had lowered their testosterone to 5 nanomoles per litre over a 12-month period. Yet the UCI have updated their policy, lowering the maximum testosterone level to 2.5 nanomoles per litre and increasing the transition period to 24 months. So they've halved the level of testosterone and doubled the transition period. That will do nothing, of course, because it's not the testosterone you've got in your body now. It's the testosterone you had in your body when you went through male puberty. That's the important level, and you can't change that because it's history. It's in the past. Unless you've got a time machine, that ain't happening. If Emily Bridges' testosterone levels, which he has never disclosed, are currently above the new threshold, he will be sidelined until at least 2024. The 21-year-old had already been temporarily barred by the UCI after they referred his case to an expert panel. He tried to race, and the British Cycling allowed him, but then the UCI stepped in and went, whoa, no, we can't have that. You can't have a man racing against women. And they put a temporary ban on. They've now looked at that and they've said, well, our rules are too tight. Too loose. We need to tighten them, and they've tightened them to such a point that he will probably never get down to that level. But even if he did, it doesn't matter. As I say, it's not the testosterone now that matters. It's the testosterone puberty, and he's undergone male puberty, and that's it. Plus, he has all the other advantages of being male. Testosterone is such a tiny proportion of what it is to be male. Anyway, getting into the article. British transgender rider Emily Bridges faces being blocked from major events for at least another 2 years after cycling's world governing body announces new stricter rules. The UCI previously allowed trans women to race in female events if they had lowered their testosterone to 5 nanomoles, and we've already covered that, and so they've halved that and doubled the time. British Cycling, meanwhile, suspended their trans policy when Bridges' controversy first flared up. They are now reviewing their rules, but they have previously adopted the UCI's policy, something they may now be minded to do again. The UCI said in a statement, the adjustment of the UCI's eligibility rules is based on the state of scientific knowledge published to date in this area, and is intended to promote the integration of transgender athletes into competitive sport, while maintaining fairness, equal opportunities, and the safety of competitions. No one is stopping the mentally ill from riding bicycles. What they're saying is, if you're a man, you don't ride against ladies. That's fair, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Well, you're born male, yeah, you're male. You don't ride against the women. Oh, but we're not good enough to ride against the men. Yeah, well, that happens, doesn't it? Stuff happens. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. The new rules will come into force on July the 1st. They may change in the future as scientific knowledge evolves. Yeah, and here's the thing. Not one piece of scientific evidence has ever been produced that shows that a transgender woman, i.e. a man, regardless of what chemicals he pumps into his body, is ever going to be ever weaker than a woman, because he's gone through male puberty, he has male bone density, he has male muscle strength, he has male oxygen retention in the blood. There are so many more things than just testosterone levels. So it's complete and utter horseshite. So yeah, at least the cycling world governing body has shown a bit of sense and is making it increasingly hard for men to compete against women. Anyway, round off there, nice swift quick one, and we'll come up and finish the video. Let us hope other sports follow where the world of cycling has led, and make it increasingly difficult, if not impossible, for men to compete against women. It's unfair and it's potentially very dangerous, but also it removes from women that urge to compete, that why should I bother? Why should I take up sport? Why should I push myself? When I know that no matter how hard I work or whatever I do, I'm going to get beaten by a man. And so the general level of women's health will be reduced because there's no reason for women to push themselves, no reason for them to do this, because they will never, ever beat a man. And that's the old thing about no matter how good a sheepdog you are, you will never be the shepherd. So, well done to cycling. It's a start. It's not there yet, but you're close. And let's hope that, as I say, other sports follow suit. Anyway, if you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for future notifications. Leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.